Oh, there's some breaking news. Recently, this has taken place. According to a former SEC lawyer who recently left the agency, the SEC will most likely appeal Judge Torres' ruling from July 2023 regarding the XRP programmatic sales in the Ripple case. This is due in part to the fact that, quote, everyone over there at the SEC truly believes that the decision is wrong and that it is not good law and that it should be appealed, end quote. Hold on, what exactly is going on, guys? Once more, have you prepared yourself for the frightening season? As a result of the fact that someone or something peculiar is about to come. Are you aware of the reason why I really hope they don't go with any appeals, guys? Because it appears that they intend to throw yet another wrench into the plans that Ripple has in store for the future. As we get closer to the deadline for filing an appeal on October 7th, we are going to conduct a more in-depth investigation of the alternatives available to the SEC and what we might see. What does the community have to say about the recent events that have taken place, guys? In this scenario, Attorney Jeremy is involved. Indeed, they are of the opinion that the opinion is incorrect. They are struggling to come out on top. Whether or not an appeal contributes to the SEC's duty of protecting investors and fostering capital formation is the question that the SEC ought to be considering right now. Exactly the same. As a matter of fact, these individuals are literally making the most of all of these fluctuations. The lawsuit that they filed against Ripple was filed before they did so. In your opinion, what do you think the insiders it is? How do you folks feel about this? You people are under the impression that they did not take advantage of them, of that enormous hole. Without a doubt, they did in terms of the shorting. How come? Do you want me to demonstrate something to you? We are not going to discuss this topic at this time, but President Trump has called for Nancy Pelosi to be punished for engaging in insider trading by the government. And by the way, we're talking about the stock market, all right? Indeed, it is highly centralized in that location. It is the cryptocurrency market here. Please give it some thought for a moment, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on the cryptocurrency market, assuming that this is the stock market and that Nancy Pelosi and all of these other people are engaging in insider trading as Trump claims they are, as we all know they are? Because you don't believe that everything is actually controlled and managed to the utmost degree, guys, and all of these individuals, whenever they have even a little bit of inside information, they definitely take advantage of it, guys, right? And they would. And why exactly is that not in the forefront of your mind? Investor protection. Take it from me, gentlemen, they claim that they are attempting to safeguard investors. They are not, in fact. Investors in the market? Without a doubt, nope. They are attempting to safeguard their own financial interests. What is it? More proof that the Securities and Exchange Commission has completely lost their minds. Absolutely. Consequently, this is the reason why we very much require who to come into play. All right, gentlemen, it's time for another Donald Trump, right? Holy cow. This is the most absurd thing ever. No. I'm going to tell you something that is quite strange, all right? I'm going to tell you something I don't believe that anyone else has seen this yet, but I'm going to come out and bring it to the forefront of attention. However, the deadline for the appeal is on October 7th. Take a look at this. Suddenly, I feel as though I am experiencing a little bit of déjà vu. But I have no idea why. I'm thinking to myself, wait, what? What do you guys recall about the time when the SEC brought the raw pocus people over? It was right here, was that clear? During that time, Bitcoin was not. Guys, you were at all-time highs before Bitcoin launched on this next parabolic run skyward. However, if you ask me, what makes that so fascinating and strange? I'm getting pretty scary, guys. I'm growing creepy. That was the moment when Let's See Suit Ripple guys right here, and Bitcoin shot up. At this very moment, I am genuinely feeling a little uneasy. But xrp did what did the opposite of go down, and guess where we are now? We are getting guess where we are right now. The same spot, guys, near Altum has right October 7th, with what if Bitcoin goes like that, and they appeal and extra people's back down and Bitcoin starts to go higher right. Which is very odd if you ask me. But I don't think they will appeal, guys, which is why I hope they don't appeal, guys, even though supposedly some source says that they will appeal. If you take a look at the Chartmen right of XRP, you will notice that they are not appealing. This is the reason why I do not believe they will appeal. Unless they want to break XRP down, it demonstrates that they will not go for an appeal since it is getting too tight for them to do so. As a result, I really hope that they do not file an appeal on it at this time. One thing that is cause for concern is the fact that everyone over there is firmly of the opinion that the choice was made incorrectly. Wow. It's clear that Elon Musk does not respect the Securities and Exchange Commission. So, what are your thoughts on this matter at this point? The SEC's decision to appeal was pretty much a given. They will wait until the very last minute to file an appeal, and then they will hope that the administration that comes after them will continue their terrible efforts to control the invention of cryptographic technologies in the United States of America that they have been making. Just a moment, hold on to that concept, because we are going to be discussing that same topic in just a moment. Let's just assume that a lot of people are angry or annoyed about this, since it's a lot of people. At this point, what does this imply? Would this indicate that Ripple's programmatic sales, all sales or sale on exchanges would be subject to an appeal? The course did not make a decision about grammatic sales, exchange sales, or secondary sales because they were not included in the consideration process. It is therefore impossible for this to be an appeals issue. If you come down here, I don't think they have made their choice yet, guys, right? If they are going to appeal or not. I don't think they have made their decision yet. Alright, this is complete and utter insanity. To reiterate, the entire community is out in full force right now trying to push back against the SEC. Even Johnny Deaton is participating in this effort. As someone who is quite familiar with Ripple and the Ripple case, taking into account the fact that I was an active litigant for a period of 2.5 years, and taking into consideration the fact that Judge Torres was cited in my amicus brief and the affidavits that I provided for 3,800 XRP holders, as well as my efforts as amicus counsel in the library case, I would like to make a statement. In the matter of Ripple, Judge Torres did not apply all 3 components of the Howey test into consideration. The fact that this was an error in relating to the third prong is one that I do not anticipate an appellate court will settle on. The decision that Judge Torres made was extremely factual in nature. Unlike the judge, the Securities and Exchange Commission did not rely on any expert testimony concerning holders of XRP. It is possible for an appeal court to state, as Judge Torres did, that there is a possibility that secondary sales could be considered investment contracts due to the fact that the facts satisfy all of the Howey requirements. On the other hand, the facts that have been revealed in the Robles XRP case do not satisfy it. The decision was upheld on appeal nevertheless. This does not prohibit the SEC from contending that secondary sales constitute investment contracts in other situations. After much deliberation, Judge Torres came to the conclusion that secondary sales on exchanges did not fulfill the requirements of the third prong of the Howey test. Considering that all of the Howey elements must be satisfied, it was unnecessary for her to apply the second prong gauze. In my perspective, the most ineffective aspect of the SEC's case against Ripple was the utilization of the common enterprise provision. Consequently, even if the Second Circuit was to decide, Judge Torres would still apply the third prong, which would result in the SEC losing the case. Judge Torres would simply be asked to apply the common enterprise element to the case, and it is highly likely that she would declare that the Securities and Exchange Commission did not establish a common enterprise. In the event that this occurred, the Securities and Exchange Commission would suffer another defeat and would then be required to appeal the decision. Appealing this decision is a waste of time and effort, gentlemen. So that's how it goes. Exactly. They are merely attempting to stir up the community's emotion gas in preparation for the last energy harvesting event, but they are doing so on purpose. It is my hope that they will not proceed with this appeal if Judge Torres did not decide against Ripple, then they might appeal the decision. Attempting to appeal this decision would be a complete and utter waste of the money that the taxpayers have contributed. For this reason, someone such as Eric Gensler might just be appealing. Wow. No, and no, have a look at this. Let's say that in the end, regardless of the circumstances, the court decided that XRP is not a security, alright? Check out this, however, because it is possible that the reason they want to appeal is because they want to maybe throw a wrench into Ripple's plans. The anticipated debut of Ripple can be used to pump the network. The month of October is the name of the strategy, and Ripple is planning to launch its RLUSC stablecoin at the end of 2024, provided that regulatory approval is obtained. At the end of the year 2024, Ripple is planning to issue its RLUSC stablecoin, which will be backed by the dollar for certain. And as we can see, another 5,515 RLUSC has been coined at the RLUSC treasury at this very now, which means that they are beginning to begin. Will you take a look at it? In this situation, what is the game plan? As you are correct, Gary will comply with his master's demands if they instruct him to wait for additional time. Next, we will ultimately appeal to the Supreme Court, and then we will strive to achieve victory for the entire cryptocurrency community. It is necessary for us, the holders, to file a class action lawsuit against the administration, as well as against Warren, Sherman, and Gensler. On the other hand, when we discuss it, take a look at what he says right here, everybody. Inject. The future of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin will be made in the United States of America, not in other countries, and I will make sure that this happens. In the sake of the nation's 50 million cryptocurrency holders, I will advocate for the right to self-custody. It is with your vote that I say this. My job is to ensure that Elizabeth Warren and her thugs do not get their hands on your Bitcoin. In addition, I will never consent to the establishment of a digital currency issued by a central bank. Let's put it simply, we need him to come into action. Exactly. The opposing viewpoint, on the other hand, asserts that Vice President Harris believes the United States